Hello, welcome all. This is the first video in my new series that I managed to call TWIK, that is the week in Caro Kann. In this series I'll try to present every week a game played in my favorite opening, the Caro Kann. If possible, that is theoretically interesting, but a video that caught my attention every week. And this week I chose a game played between two young players. With the white pieces is Pulpan from Czech Republic. He's rated 2309, and with the black pieces is Robin Vogel. He's rated 2420. So two young good players. Sorry for my poor English. And the game started with e4, c6, d4, d5, and now white chose e takes d5, c takes d5, and the Panov Attack, that is c4. He's attacking white's pawn, and now black has to do something. He has to react to the threat, because otherwise if he plays a move, for example knight c6, white can take the pawn, and you have to take with the queen, and later you will lose a time with knight c3. So after c4, the most logical and normal move is knight f6. That is played in the game, knight f6. White plays knight c3, putting more pressure in the pawn, in the d5 pawn. And black plays, and now knight c6. He's not reacting to the pressure on the pawn. He's counter-attacking in the d4 pawn. Now white plays knight f3, and here black has at least three options. The most typical, or I would say the main reaction, is bishop g4. That leads to a well-known endgame. The endgame line is c takes d5, knight takes d5, and now the key move, queen b3, threatening the knight, and the b7. This is the drawback of the move bishop g4, that it leaves b7 undefended. But now black can play bishop takes f3, and white has to take the bishop, and now black defends the knight with e6, queen takes b7, knight takes d4, counter-attacking, and now the very important move is bishop b5. This move is to release control over c6, so the queen can play the intermediate move queen c6 now, and you have to move the king. Now queen takes, and well, this is a lot of moves, but more of them are very forced. And now black has knight takes c3. It's a very interesting line, and the normal move is queen d7. That leads to the endgame line, bishop g5, f6, queen takes, and bishop e3. This is not clear, but maybe it's an equal endgame with chances for both sides, but it's a little boring. But black is not forced to enter this line. He has two other good options. The other option in move 6 is the move g6. Very interesting move. It was played by Boris Gelfand and a lot of good players. Boris Gelfand played it 3 times in 2013. And the other move that was played in the actual game was bishop e6. Bishop e6 at first looks a little strange because obstructs the e7 pawn, but it has some logic. First of all, black is threatening to take the pawn. If white does nothing, he will take the pawn. So now white has 3 moves to choose. He has to do something in the center. The move played in the game was c5, releasing the tension in the center, and now white is with the plan of b4, a5, b5, and so on. But another option is bishop g5. In that case, we cannot play d takes c4. That would be a blunder because of bishop takes, e takes, and d5. Okay, a good move in bishop g5, it could be, for example, knight e4. Attacking the bishop, attacking the knight. Okay, and the other move is take the pawn. C takes, knight takes, and bishop g5. This could lead to a IQP, isolated queen's pawn position, that is very comfortable for black. He can play g6, bishop g7, castle, and later he could be putting pressure on the d4 pawn. Okay, in the game it was played c5. So now the normal is to develop with g6, to play bishop g7 and castle. Okay, and now white plays h3, bishop g7. These are the normal moves to develop the pieces. Bishop d3, castle, castle. And now black played a move that I don't like too much, that is queen c8. I think that maybe another good option is the direct b6. b6 is thematic in these structures. He's trying to attack the advanced pawn, but the drawback is that the knight is undefended now. So white could play bishop b5, for example, queen c7, queen a4, putting more pressure on the knight, rook a c8, with the point that if white is going for the pawn, bishop takes, queen takes a7, black can play b takes c5, and if the queen goes into the kitchen, let's say, with queen e7, the queen will end trapped with knight e4, knight takes e4, d takes e4, knight e5, queen e5. In this line, we are threatening this pawn. The knight would be defenseless, and the line in which the queen is trapped is queen a6. Now the queen cannot escape via c5, and we are threatening the simple move rook f e8, and the queen has no squares. Okay, the other option here is queen takes e5, queen takes, d takes, rook takes. That is slightly better for black because of the bishop pair, and we could put pressure on the a and b pawns. It could become targets, these two pawns. So in the game it was played queen c8, and now the white played rook e1, and black plays for the thematic b6 right now, and knight a4 defending the pawn, or maybe attacking the b6 pawn. So black defends and maintains the tension, queen c7, and now a move that is not very precise is c takes b6, because now the knight, it looks a bit silly. He can go here, and maybe he has to return. Plus the rook, the a8 rook, now it has an open file for free. So I don't like the move c takes b6. An improvement, it could be maybe bishop g5, for example. Bishop g5. Okay, so after c takes b6, a takes b6, now white played b3. And now a good move, another good move for black, knight e4. He has another option, the knight jump, knight b4, threatening to capture the bishop, and to control the c file, the important c file. Now white has the option of bishop a3, knight takes d3, queen takes d3, knight e4, rook ac1, queen b7. He's slightly better again for the bishop pair, and these two pieces are a little bit out of the board. But in the game it was played knight e4, and here white develops the bishop, bishop b2. He could go for the pawn grab with the capture bishop takes e4, d takes e4, rook takes. But in that case, black has a very nice position. Rook fd8. He has a pawn down, but bishop f4, queen b7. But he has compensation. He has the two bishops, and this pawn maybe will fall later on. He can double rooks, or I don't know. Another option is putting this knight here, or this bishop here. I don't know. It's difficult to me that black loses this position. So in the game, bishop b2. Now black defended the knight with bishop f5. At least now white returns with the knight with knight c3. Black exchanges a couple of pieces, bishop takes, bishop d3, queen takes d3, and e6. Okay, we're reaching the late middle game. Rook e c1, trying to control the only open file. Rook fc8, a4, so the rook can do another things that defend the pawn. And now black plays queen f4, very active post for the queen. So white has to react with queen e3. And now black plays, he could exchange, but he plays bishop h6. And and now white doesn't take also. He plays bishop d2, and now queen takes, bishop takes, and a very interesting move again. Black could play bishop takes bishop, but he plays bishop f8. Interesting. The bishop is the black bishop is better than the white bishop because of this pawn. But he could try bishop takes e3, f takes, knight b4. He's threatening this jump, attacking this and this. But rook a b1 and f6, slightly better for black. But in the game he chose bishop f8. So bishop f8, white plays rook c3, trying to double the rooks. Black avoids it with bishop b4, rook c2, knight a5, putting pressure on the weakness, one of the few weaknesses in white's camp, the b3 pawn. So white doubles the rooks. You must take one rook, takes, and now bishop d6, controlling this square, and now it's threatening knight takes. He couldn't do it before because then rook b2, it could attack the two pieces. So white defends the pawn with the knight d2, and now rook b8. Interesting. He's threatening b5 to activate the rook. White plays bishop h6, threatening move. It could be themes with rook c8 checkmate. Well, it would lead to a checkmate, bishop f8 and rook takes f8 checkmate if black rook leaves the first rank. So black plays f6, avoiding all the back rank mates. and so he threatens g5, trapping the bishop. So white reacts to that. He plays bishop e3, king f7, king f1, centralizing the kings in the endgame. And now black plays b5. He goes for that, the plan of activating the rook. And white plays rook a2, attacking indirectly the knight on a5. Black plays g5, king e2, and now bishop b4. He threatens now the pawn again, removing the defender of the pawn, that is the knight on e2. So white plays a takes b5, rook takes b5, and rook a4. But this drops the pawn finally, because this move bishop takes d2, and now I like a lot this move, knight c6. Excellent. From this position black played excellently. he didn't leave an option to white. He has a pawn up. Here he could play knight takes b3. So the first move that comes to mind, but with the response bishop c3, now the knight is somewhat, he hasn't a lot of moves, and white could threaten this move and this move, and is attacking the knight. He cannot escape from here, and that's why I like much more the the knight c6 move. Now it's threatening to take the pawn, and he cannot defend it, because he's also threatening this move with check if the rook is trying to defend the pawn. So bishop c3, rook takes b3, and he has a better minor piece and a pawn up, so this should be winning. Now the bishop is attacked, so king d2, rook b7, good move, rook a6, attacking the knight, knight e7, g3, h5, king e2, knight g6, and now white is moving around the bishop, bishop a5. He has to wait, he don't have any plan to attack, or he has to defend. Again, bishop d2, knight e7, bishop a5. What else? Rook b2, check, good move, king e1. He has to go to the first rank. If he placed here, for example here, black can play the check here, and he collects another pawn and is threatening this check. Whoa, this is a disaster. So he has to go back, and the game ended with the following two moves: knight f5, attacking the pawn, bishop b6, defending, and now knight d6. And the white player resigned in this position, hopeless position. The knight can go here and here. The king is cut off. He has to defend this pawn. This is hopeless. And also we are threatening the move knight e4, attacking this pawn and collecting it. So white resigned in this position. Okay, I hope you like it. It's a very interesting variation, the bishop e6 move, rather than the endgame line with bishop g4, and the other interesting move is g6. But I quite like bishop e6. It's very interesting. Okay, so thanks for watching, and we'll see you the next week. Bye.